Deputy Prime Minister Bülent Arınç seems determined to pursue his critical stance after last week's public rift with President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, stating that there may be a day when he says openly that the emperor has no clothes. Speaking to the BBC in an exclusive interview on Thursday, Arınç answered a wide range of questions, from the debates on the presidential system to the dispute that erupted last week when Ankara Mayor Melih Gökçek alleged that Arınç is the parallel states inside man in the ruling Justice and Development Party, AK Party, and that he has to be dismissed from the government. I and President Erdoğan have been doing politics together for a long time. But we may have different styles. In my criticisms, I have not yet called the emperor naked, Arınç said in comments that show the deepening rift between Erdoğan and the government. The Deputy Prime Minister also expressed his objections to the Turkish-style presidential system that President Erdoğan is highly in favor of and aims to establish in Turkey, saying that if a presidential system is established, it should be an American-type system because that is the best functioning system in the world. Some say that we should look at the presidential systems in Mexico, Argentina, or Paraguay, and that we should get important parts of the system from those countries and form a system according to our mentality. This would not be correct. If you think of bringing in presidential system, the country that is able to use this system in the most efficient way should be taken as example, Arınç said. Erdoğan has been seeking a transition to a presidential system, saying it will pave the way for more effective governance without the obstacles raised in the current system by the judiciary and other institutions. However, Erdoğan supports the formation of a Turkish-style presidential system, a strong unicameral rather than bicameral system that will supposedly help the country's development by eliminating multi-headedness in state governance and thus pave the way for a more effective decision-making system. His suggestion raises concerns over possible abuse of the system if the government develops into a more authoritarian regime. Gökçek also evaluated the battle that erupted after Ankara Mayor Gökçek verbally attacked Arınç on Twitter because of his critical stance towards Erdoğan. Melih Gökçek is a mayor affiliated with my party. Far exceeding his authority, he insulted the deputy prime minister and asked him to resign. Thus I gave him the answer he deserved. Whatever anyone says, I am in a position to give them the proper answer, Arınç stated. In remarks posted on Twitter last weekend, Gökçek claimed that Arınç's daughter and son-in-law are members of the parallel state, a term invented by Erdoğan to refer to sympathizers of the faith-based Hizmet movement, also known as the Gülen movement, which he sees as responsible for a December 17, 2013 graft probe, and Arınç could not resist the pressure from his son-in-law and daughter. He also tweeted that Arınç cannot be the government's spokesman any longer and called on him to resign from his posts as government spokesman and deputy prime minister. When it comes to the settlement process, Arınç said that it is still ongoing even though the sides have not come to a certain conclusion. We are not close to the end yet. But I can assure you that there is a partial reconciliation, Arınç said during the BBC interview. The deputy prime minister added that the government was determined to go ahead with plans to establish a monitoring committee to observe the settlement process with the country's Kurds despite opposition to the idea from President Erdoğan, and added that Erdoğan's remarks that appear to be critical of government actions only serve to undermine the government. Arınç had criticized Erdoğan after the president recently stepped up his criticism of the government's moves in the settlement process, saying, "We love our president and we are aware of his might and the services he would offer to this country. But do not forget that there is a government in this country and this government is going to face an election on June 7, Arınç told reporters on March 22.